This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Well, you know what? In a few days, there are going to be big floats pulled along by strings down Fifth Avenue in New York. But Annapolis does things a little bit different, and you always know that the holidays are coming when Zachary's windows start to transform a little bit and things just start to change downtown, which is really a magical time. And today we're sitting here with Constance Polamalu, who is the chief operating officer, and Steve Samaras, who is the owner and the chief executive officer. He's the big cheese at Zachary's Jewelers. Again, but we wanted to visit you guys because you guys are really sort of the leader of the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit in Annapolis. You know, we do things a little bit differently. I mean, you know, they've got the parades and reviewing stands up in New York in front of Macy's and everything else. We've got like a tow truck with a choir on the back of it. And, of course, we do look forward every year to the lighting of the Christmas tree, which is coming up on Sunday. I think it's the 27th is the date.
I believe so, yes.
And it was the Sunday after Thanksgiving. But you guys always bring in, to really kick off the holiday season, the Chesapeake Ballet to perform, I call vignettes of the Nutcracker, little pieces. Is that happening again, fingers crossed?
That is happening again. This will be, John, we've been doing this over 25 years. Which is pretty amazing to me that it's been going on that long. But
I mean, the people that participate, I don't know who enjoys it more. Zachary's staff that's out there just with the beaming smiles, the people that are watching this, or the dancers, with the occasional exception of the rainy, really cold kind of nights when they're out there freezing. But everybody has such a wonderful time there, and I know we get the elbows in the ribs from the parents that are trying to get the pictures and everybody else, and it's just such a wonderful time. And on behalf of the city, which I don't have any right to speak for, but thank you for bringing bringing it.
We've enjoyed it. It certainly kicks off our holiday season and puts us all in the mood. So it's.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys always bring some magic to the city to start it when the holidays come around. What's up with your windows and your store this year? Because they always look so festive. Is there a theme going on or anything?
There is a theme going on. So Steve is overwhelmed with our female staff. I think he's lost this battle.
A little too much estrogen in the store?
We've got a tribe of women running around. And so this year's theme is just, it's opulent, it's feminine, it's glamorous. So come on down, you'll see a lot of pink and red and glitter and fur and feathers and just excessiveness.
Very cool. Very cool. The other thing that you guys do at Christmas time, and I hope it's still happening, but the wrap-off. Is that happening again?
It is.
Oh, that's happening.
It is.
Who are you going to vote for this
year? Oh, I'm on Team Errol every year.
Everyone else seems to be too.
Yeah. No. I mean,
we have a new twist this year that I'm not going to mention, but it's going to be something because there's some things at a point in time tend to jump the shark, and we thought that
we're jumping it.
Yeah. So we're adding a little twist to it.
Well, for those that don't know what the wrap-off is, that Stephen is a star salesman. Is that fair, Errol, or just your other brother from another mother?
Yeah, that's what it is. All together.
They get into this wrapping contest. Who can wrap a Zachary's gift the quickest and the best?
I have to tell you a story. This goes way back now. This is what really started the wrap-off prior to our filming it and putting it out there. It had to be 25 years ago. I'm standing there with Errol, wrapping presents on the 23rd or 24th of the month. And my dad is sitting there enjoying a glass of eggnog.
As fathers are wont to do.
Yeah. And he's watching me feverishly wrap these packages, which of course, every package I'm wrapping, we're ringing the register, so I'm happy. He looks at me, he says, "Son, had I known you'd be wrapping presents for a living, I don't know that I would have paid for 4 years of college." And if you didn't know my dad, that was typical Chris Samaras right there.
Your dad and my dad probably should have met at some point. That's funny. So you've got a little twist with this wrap off this year.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna have to wait to see that.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll go onto Facebook.
Fantastic. Well, I did miss the Powerball the other week, so I don't have $2.8 billion in my pocket. Although that would probably make a really good Christmas season for you guys.
I just hand the key over to you.
Yeah. There you go.
But what is hot? What are the trends? I mean, and Constance, you're the designer. You're the one that's won the awards nationwide and everything else, and you're the one that Lizzo needed a pair of earrings for that called.
Before she gets into answering that question, John, I would like to mention, and you're going to have to tell them about this because I'm not certain the gentleman's name.
Winston Duke. So if you've seen Black Panther,
Yes.
have you seen it yet? So Winston Duke, one of the lead actors, is currently on the cover of Esquire magazine.
Okay.
And in his cover spread inside the magazine, he's wearing one of the Birthright Foundry pieces that you can find at Zachary's this holiday season. So you got to come down and try it on.
That's pretty wild.
It is one of
That's
a kind.
pretty wild. Lizzo and Black Panther.
Yep.
Can't beat it. But what are the themes? What's hot this year?
So we're seeing a lot of things kind of splintering in different directions. We've got the women that are still keeping it clean and classic, adding in diamonds and pearls to all of their wardrobe. And then we've got women moving more towards bold gold looks, with, a little bit more heft to them than we've seen in years past. More of those kind of statement pieces that are still suited for every day.
Is that something that's cyclical there? Because I just remember my grandmother and her, she had little tiny hands and just these big, huge rings that, she would walk around, she'd hit something and it'd be like, whoa, what the heck was that?
Absolutely. I think fashion is cyclical because it's a representation of where we are as a people, where we are as a society. And then you have to think about, well, where do we decide what's stylish? And it's got to do with the people that we emulate. So about every generation, we see these kind of turnovers. And a lot of times it's either what mom wore or what grandma wore that comes back because that's the memory that you have. And jewelry is so much about memories. So you want a ring that looks like your grandfather's ring, or you want the watch that your grandfather wore. And if you don't have that opportunity, then you buy something new that just pays homage to that look.
It's interesting that you say that about jewelry bringing back memories, and it's so emotional. And I think scent does that as well. Mm-hmm. I know if I smell Chanel No. 5, it's like, where's Grandma?
Exactly.
I'm looking around trying to figure out. I know she's around the corner or something like that. And I think with when we went through COVID and everything else, we all sort of rediscovered the value of family.
Absolutely.
And friends and being together with neighbors. And I think that all really sort of ties in together with everything. You're looking back and you're saying, my gosh, I really value that relationship with my grandmother. She's long gone at this point, and but it tugs at the heart.
Yeah.
And you do want to pay some homage or some, honor to that.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. But Zachary's is not necessarily for the $2.9 billion Powerball winners. Otherwise,
if you did win $2.9 million, we've got something for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'd be called Guy in California Jewelers, coming up. But what are you seeing as far as? Are there pieces that are, affordable for the, the boyfriend and girlfriend in high school or college that are celebrating their first Christmas together?
Absolutely.
We were just having a conversation on the drive over here this morning, John, about Gucci, and the change in model that they've gone through over the last several years, appealing to a younger client.
Fascinating podcast, by the way, on that I've been listening to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you listen to Business Wars?
Yes.
I loved that
Yes.
one. That was a great one.
Yes, it was. Just how they
Gucci versus Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
It was a great podcast.
One I missed. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it really was. But they have really. They went from the state old your grandfather's or your father's shoes or belts or something like that, and then they went to everything, and now they're, as you mentioned, coming back. I guess in the generational thing, but you. And
that's reflected in the jewelry designs that they've come out with. They used to be very heavy, bold designs with a lot of diamonds, a lot of gemstones. Now they're much more tailored and certainly a lot more affordable. And they're bringing in that younger client that can stay with them, of course, over the course of their lives.
Well, one thing I think about your business in general and specifically, it's based on relationships, and you've never been one to, okay, let's sell the ring and get them out the door. And you've mentioned to me in times past that, you're finding, and you introduced me to the word of the push ring or push something
present,
or push
yep.
something or other. But I mean, you're turning around and you're getting, midshipmen that come in for their ring, that are coming back and shopping for an engagement ring when they come back to get married at the chapel, that are getting into the push present, that are coming back for their anniversaries and time again. And I mean, Zachary's Jewelers has done a really good job of building relationships pretty much everywhere you go. I mean, you look with the business community, with the city, and certainly with your customers.
Well, thank you. We work very hard at that. Continue to work at that. Constance is picking up the slack in that area, and really. I'm going to sit there and say that it doesn't seem like you work at that, because it just seems very effortless.
I think we're really lucky to be able to build the relationships that we are. I mean, I look at some of my friends working these, corporate jobs where, it's the job everybody thought they wanted leaving college, and they're kind of miserable. And we're so fortunate to spend people's most exciting moments with them.
Yeah, no, it's and jewelry really touches on all of those, whether it's the birth, engagement. I mean, I'm sure you probably got people going, yes, I finally got rid of that SOB. I need a, I need something splashy for me. I just lost 200 pounds of dead weight, whatever it may be.
Well, to bolt on to Constance's comment just now, there are very few professions that you can even think of where 99.9% of the clients that you're dealing with are in a highly elevated emotional state. They're very happy, and you're part of that. So we don't take that lightly. It is easy because you're happy as well and dealing with them. So it's
right. The other industry on that one, Sven Storm ice cream. Nobody's miserable when they go to buy ice cream. Nobody is miserable when you're buying ice cream. But, we've got some key dates that are coming in to Annapolis, which is always a special time in the winter, in December. But we've got the Midnight Madnesses, which are early this year. They're on the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th, which is the first 3 Thursdays of the month. And I wonder whether they're going to put a 4th Thursday in there. I know it used to be like Midnight Madness, and then 11th hour.
Right. And I thought 11th hour, I was surprised 11th hour wasn't the 4th Thursday instead of the 3rd. But
yeah. But we've got the Grand Illumination, which is on the 27th, which is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And we also have the Small Business Saturday on Saturday, which is the Saturday after Black Friday. That's the 26th. And that's a program that's started by American Express, and it's really just to encourage people to support small businesses, which obviously you're a fan of, I'm a fan of, and it's critical here in Annapolis for any number of different reasons that we do this, because they, as you guys are, a part of the community. You're not just a storefront. A great story I heard down in Beaufort, there's Beaufort, Beaufort and Beaufort, the South Carolina one. But they had a Starbucks that wanted to come in down to the historic district, and the local business community raised up their fur, and they said no. They said, well, we're coming in. And they bought a store, or they rented a store, they renovated it and everything else. And then the local consumers said, no. And they have a couple little coffee shops in town, and that's who got the business. Starbucks closed down 8 months later. They moved out on the highway coming into town. And I was talking to a business owner down there. He said, well, yeah, that's where they belong. But it really was like, I was like, it was, and that's it, because it's the local community that brings it together. And I mean, you guys, you don't need to do the Chesapeake Ballet out. But, to bring that in to, I remember several years ago, they converted Main Street into like Lover's Lane or something. And there was a big promotion that you guys are the lead corner store on that and everything else. But we've got these dates, and you definitely want to get out. At 4 o'clock is when things start to happen on the 27th. Yeah. 27th.
Yeah. But you can come earlier, too. We've got nutcrackers and hot chocolate always for all the kiddos. And if you need something extra, you can, of course.
You can negotiate. You can negotiate a little bit of extra.
You can always find your favorite Zachary's friend.
That's for sure. Well, and again, supporting local businesses. You guys are in a challenging period, and I say you guys collectively, the downtown, because we do have the garage that's down. And I will give kudos to Gavin and the city, because I think they've done a pretty good job of mitigating the loss of that parking between the scooters and the bikes and the Barney Mobile that takes you between everything else. I think they've done as good a job as they possibly could have done.
Adding to that now, we do have valet parking available for the downtown community business district. Anyone can utilize the valet, which has already been established, of course, at the Waterfront Hotel. If you're coming into town, you can pull in there, and they will take your car, park it for you. Some of the businesses, Zachary's included in this, are subsidizing the expense of that. So we have that coming on. We also have the 2-hour free parking after Thanksgiving through New Year's.
Right.
You can add an additional hour on if you use the app, the Annapolis parking app.
Right. So Parkmobile.
Yeah, right, which would include 3 hours total. So there are a number of things that the city is attempting to do to help.
And then we also have a map coming out that our team is working on, where you park at GOTS, because that is a place where we can give you free parking for 2 to 4 hours as well. And we've got a little map of our favorite spots in town to hit along the way down to Zachary's and back.
Oh, fun. Well, the valet parking, and this is the first time I'm hearing of this. This is sort of centered at the Annapolis Waterfront
yes.
Hotel. And is it free? Or
it is not free,
but it's
but
not
again,
that, it's not horrible.
No, and of course, if you're like us, helping to subsidize the expense, it makes all the sense in the world. It's only literally a block and a half away from the center of town.
And I know that even if you eschew shopping and you don't want the hustle and the bustle, but you know what you want, you guys did and continue after COVID the curbside, right? Is that
yes.
still? Is that?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure that's sort of a no-brainer option.
Yep.
That I can come down on Wednesday when it's nice and calm and look at something, and pick it up on a Saturday, just curbside, just roll down the window, and Constance will chuck it in the.
I've got one of those T-shirt launchers.
To also add on to Constance's comment about the GOTS parking garage that the city has provided for the business district downtown, any of the businesses in downtown Annapolis we're able to provide parking passes for GOTS garage, 2 hours each, 2 blocks, 2 hours.
Yeah, blocks of 2 hours, and I think we can give you up to 4 hours if you need them.
Right, yeah. I'm so excited for the holidays. I'm excited that you guys are kicking it off again for the city of Annapolis and for the area. And I think if you're looking to wow somebody, that's the place to start. And I think if you're just looking to impress somebody and make an impression, I think it's always just good to even come in and window shop, if you will, to see what the trends are. And if you were a young college age couple,
yeah,
what would you expect to buy at Zachary's for this first holiday together?
There are a couple of brands that I would look for. I would come in and I would look for 585. That's a Zachary's house brand curated by my sister, who's 20-something.
What's 585?
It's actually the stamp that goes on 14-karat gold jewelry, but that's the in-house brand that she developed when she realized that we didn't have enough of an offering for people in that early phase of adulthood. So lots of great choices there. Of course, Gucci, that's going to be a showstopper. Gucci gets its own packaging. It feels extra special. That's a great one. And then there's some newness in Allure, which is an Annapolitan staple.
Okay. I thought 14K was the stamp on a...
It is the American stamp. European stamp uses the conversion, the numerical conversion for 14 karat.
Yeah.
Divide 14 by 24 karat, which is pure gold, comes up to 0.583. Well, I don't know why they rounded up to 0.585. But
interesting. So you guys actually developed your own line, youth line, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Because today's 20-something is not wearing your grandmom's ring.
Yeah. I mean, that was another one of those great COVID things for us. So, when we were closed and at home, and she and I were working feverishly to build the website. She was so proud of the work that she was doing, and wanted to share it with her friends. And so she was sharing it on social media, and everybody was saying, yeah, okay, but I can't afford anything. So that's where she, came up with the idea that we should have, a few more pieces that are Zachary's quality, but accessible.
Awesome. That's great.
It's done well.
And it's your younger sister?
Yeah, sister-in-law, actually. Okay. But we're pretty close, so it's easier to just say sister.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's the big bling that doesn't come out in the case is sitting back in the safe in the back of the room? Is there any absolutely amazing tiara or something like that that's...
There's always something special, but I'd have to run your credit card first, John.
That's true. Even if it's the black credit card. Mm-hmm. But I mean, and you guys really excel on your custom stuff too.
We do.
Yes, there's a lot of, I don't say off the shelf, but out of the case maybe is the right term that you can buy. That's absolutely beautiful because you do a wonderful job of buying. But you've got. It's not even manufacturing, but it's a designer and I guess manufacturing.
Yeah, we do have. We have all the best, latest manufacturing equipment, and a team of bench jewelers, and then of course, our team. Everyone on our sales team is a great designer now.
We've enlisted them. Charlie, my wife, has taken on the responsibility of designing some major pieces with the sales team. So we will be coming out with probably 25, 30 new items for the holidays that are designed in-house.
Unique to Zachary's Jewelers.
Yep.
What's it take to design? Is it just an eye and a thought like, hey, we need to move this over here. This would look good with a ruby or or is it just the eye? And then, who draws this? Or do you just... Our
whole team draws, actually. To varying degrees, but everyone on our team is capable of drawing. And, it's not Mother's Day or, Mother's Day season yet, but our annual 5th grade design contest is a perfect example of, if you have a great idea, anybody can really come up with something custom. Right now, if you're looking for something custom for the holidays, we need to see you yesterday.
Tomorrow. Word for the wise. Make sure that you get down there. Well, I'll tell you, you want to start at 100 Main Street, which is at the bottom of Main Street, right under Buddy's Crabs and Ribs. It's the beautiful store that circles the bottom of Main Street. It wraps right around there. You can go to zacharysjewelers.com. The website's okay. And it's a good website, but it's okay. But it doesn't compare to the experience of coming into the store and dealing with your people. And just everybody that I've dealt with in there, from Errol to Cheryl, look at that, they're all rhyming. all rhymes here. But, just everybody is just so wonderful and helpful, and Jolly and, Evangeline. And it's more of a family shopping experience.
I think it is.
It is really,
idea. Really for
sisters. Got 2 sisters.
Your sister.
I got a sister.
My brother Errol.
Well, and and you've been here 30.
Oh my God, 30 years.
30 years. You ran out of fingers and toes, didn't you?
30 years.
And so if anybody is vested in the community, it's certainly Steve Samaras and Zachary's Jewelers, and they'll steer you in the right direction, no matter which way you're looking to go. If you're looking for something inexpensive and not so flashy, it's a place to go. If you're looking for something off the hook, it's the place to go. And you can come away just knowing that it's a quality piece and it's going to be a winner, whichever way you look. So I am personally looking forward to Sunday the 27th and the Grand Illumination and the singing and the Chesapeake Ballet. Always a fun night, especially if there's a nip in the air, not too cold or rain, and to unveil the tree and see what they've got planned for the tree this year. It's always an interesting thing. But thank you guys so much for coming in today. Thanks for whatever you do to the community. And don't let the parking scare anybody. There's plenty of options to do it. You can park for free up at Gott's-Court Garage, which is off of Calvert Street by the new big mural. You've got the valet parking at the Annapolis Waterfront Hotel. You've got the shuttles from the outer garages, and the little go-karts are running around. And there's plenty of ways if you want to, even if you want to scooter on down to Zachary's, you can do you can do that as well. And Annapolis downtown is alive and well, and Zachary's is here to sparkle it for everybody, I guess.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Thank you.
This has been a bonus podcast from Eye on Annapolis. Please visit us at eyeonannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.